And we're live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Harrison, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Ian Eatwell
Hey.
and Luc Tran.
Hello, hello.
Here we talk about what's going on in the nerd world, ranging from movies, comics, to video games. And if you're a new listener, we'll start by talking about what we're been up to lately. Can't talk today. Oh my god. And let's see. The main topic for today is the DC Fandome. But that's for later. What's up, guys? What's new with you guys?
I've been... I feel like I'm devolving into just like a mindless video game player. Because legitimately on one screen, I have Final Fantasy XIV playing. And I'm grinding out A Realm Reborn. And on the other screen, I just have RuneScape. And
oh my god.
It's literally just like Alt-Tab, do something on RuneScape, Alt-Tab, do something on Final Fantasy. And it got so bad because in Final Fantasy, you have your, like your life classes or your occupations, whatever you want to call them. Blacksmithing, fishing, crafting, all these things.
Yeah.
And so, like, the most recent thing I've done is I was making 5,000 iron bars in RuneScape, and I would just Alt-Tab and do my blacksmithing on Final Fantasy. So, like, it's like my brain was mush because for 3 hours straight, it was just RuneScape, blacksmithing, RuneScape, I was just like, oh god, what have I become?
You become
Oh
an MMO bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've become an IRL bot. So I've been doing that.
So funny.
It's really sad. Like I'm pretty sure, like if you turned around and asked me, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You would just see me turn around. And I look like that still shot from Coraline, of Coraline's dad, just like slaving away at the computer, eyes all like glazed over. That's me for the past 2-3 days. But it was worth it.
It was worth it. Can you make some dope shit now in Final Fantasy?
No.
Oh.
Oh, the thing that's really wigging me out is with my blacksmithing, I can make a bunch of really good things for other people.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I can make carpenter tools, I can make fishing rods for the fishers, and all these other things, and none of it really helps me as a blacksmith. It's just, oh, hey, I get experience. Oh, hey, I can make some money. That's it.
I guess
Well,
it's
and-
part of them trying to get like all the different classes to work together.
they want to kind of have
Collab.
like a collaborative economy,
Yeah.
which is cool, but I think it is cool, actually. I do really like that. It's kind of what we talked about with Ashes of Creation, how that was supposed to work, where
Mm-hmm.
players would only specialize in one thing, one profession, so you'd basically have to work with other people.
Right.
So that's what's going on in Final Fantasy, but I think it's just compounded by the fact that I was mainly doing it to get levels, so I'm just grinding,
Mm-hmm.
that my brain's just mush. But I'm still enjoying it. It's still really fun.
This is like a side thing, right? Like you're still like, let's say you're paladin, but you're just like, you just have your
Yeah, like my
blacksmithing skills.
paladin's level 40, my
Uh-huh.
blacksmithing I think is like 23. So it's still like, it's basically nothing. Like level 23 isn't really anything, but it's just a lot of grind. It is merely compounded by the fact that on my other screen, I'm grinding a completely different MMO. And I didn't think it would ever come to be like that in my life, where I just become I'm a bot, but I get to do that, and it's weird, but I'm having fun.
I mean, if you're having fun, that's the whole point. How are you?
It's like, I guess
way
you can having fun while I'm suffering, I guess is what's going. I'm looking for the bright sides in life.
Wait, are you further in RuneScape? Last time we talked, I had.
Yes,
So.
yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm always like, it's funny because like when I mentioned before when I started playing RuneScape, it was because I was watching one of my other streamers play, kind of like on his off days or like his days off, and anytime he would stream RuneScape, it would always be hardcore Iron Man, numbers go up, And like that's like, yeah, I'm winning because my numbers go up, but am I really winning? But yeah, like I'm still making a lot of progress.
Are you winning?
That's good.
It's just it's always, I feel like I've repeated this like 3 or 4 times. It's always funny looking back to see how bad I was, not just in RuneScape, but like every MMO.
Yeah, it's like how you played back then is like
Yeah, because and mainly if I played an Iron Man character, I'd feel like how I did back then.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I was making 5,000 iron bars. Old me would have mined every single piece of iron ore, and then probably had to mine double that, because originally when you smelt iron, there's a 50-50 chance you just lose the iron. But now, big brain me, present day me, I just buy 5,000 iron, and I buy these enchanted rings that make you not lose iron. And so it's like, oh, I'll just spend gold, but I'll make gold.
Money.
Like I spend gold to make gold, and it's a concept that younger me just would not understand. It's like, how can you buy something and then make more money? You're losing money. It's like, no, you see, you save time doing this, and you're just like, what does this mean? Yeah. Answering your question, yes, I'm further along.
You have 5,000 more.
Oh, I sold it all.
You sold it all, but you have more money at this point.
I have. Yeah, like my goal is to pay for my membership with in-game money.
Yeah,
and I'm almost halfway there. So.
Oh, that's cool. You could pay with in-game money for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I like that.
Just like in WoW.
Just like in WoW.
So that's the one thing I wish that Final Fantasy XIV did.
Yeah, I wish.
But at the same time, I feel like Final Fantasy XIV's economy is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Because in WoW, it's like you spend gold, and gold is really hard to come by.
Right.
In WoW, and in Final Fantasy, it never really seems like gold is an issue.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I ever have issues like racking up gil at all in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like you do one thing. It's like, oh, here's 10,000 gil. It's like, okay.
Oh, cool.
The most expensive teleport is like 400 gil.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I've been just doing that. What have you been up to, Ian?
Yeah, Ian.
I've been mostly up to a lot of Final Fantasy as well. I'm playing a warrior, so that's pretty fun. Other than that,
Is that from Marauder? I can't remember.
Yeah. So Marauder leads into warrior. So Marauder's like your starting class.
Yeah.
Do what?
I feel like that'd be flipped. I don't know why. Like it sounds like warrior would be like a more standard
just because
thing.
like every like game has like warrior or as like the class.
Yeah, and then it feeds into something. Yeah. Or maybe we've been wrong this entire time and Final Fantasy got it right finally. Who knows?
Well, see, I think it makes sense because Marauder is a bad thing. And in an MMO, you kill Marauders, but Warrior good. Warrior good right. Character class.
You're right.
So they gotta throw you off your game a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're having fun with Warrior, you said?
Yeah, it's fun. Fun class. I really like their tanking style.
Have you've done Warrior specific quests, right?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Have you done you did your level 41, you said? Or have you only done your level 30?
No, I've done the 30 and I've done 35. I don't know if I've done 40 yet or not. I can't remember. Yeah. But I have my your like little stance icon thing changes, your gauge or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So it is different because I finished my Paladin one last night at level 40, and that was hey, you get your first Paladin thing now. I was like, oh, that's cool. It only took me 10 levels to get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was just something I thought was interesting, I guess.
I think my first new thing I got I guess that was at 35. Was the first new thing I got, I think. The first new, like, warrior thing. But I want to get my invulnerability, man.
Oh, good luck. I don't think you get that for a long time.
Yeah, probably not.
Is that a warrior thing?
Mm-hmm.
So every tank has invulnerability skills, but none of the tanks get it for quite a while, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But the warriors is just especially cool because it is the only tank skill that legitimately makes you invulnerable. Because I think it's for like 6 seconds you just can't die, just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Okay.
Every other tanking class invulnerability has like weird caveats that don't technically make them invulnerable, but it's really useful.
Yep. Super useful. That's all I've been up to. I've been grinding that out. I've been unpacking a lot. Because I moved. That's about it. What about you, Rift?
Yeah, definitely unpacking since last time. But no, man, I've been playing a lot more Fall Guys with some of the guys, because some of the I got one of our friends like Fall Guys as like payment. Like I just paid him back. I'm like, all right, here's Fall Guys. Let's see if you like it. And at first he's like, no, he just didn't like the fact that I like gave him like he doesn't. It was just more like, don't pay me back for stuff. It's fine. But I'm like, no, here's Fall Guys. Enjoy. At first he was like reluctant, but then later, like literally, I think the next day he's like, bro, have you tried this? He started talking about the game more and more and more. And I was like, oh, sounds like you like the game, I see. And he's like, yes, I do. So I've been playing that a lot more. It's just fun to see like we had like, I think one night, like after Final Fantasy like closed, like it had their maintenance thing, we were all going to go to bed, but then 4 of us were like, or we could just play Fall Guys. I was like, shit.
Oh no.
And then some of us were like, I was like, I have work tomorrow. And they're like, we'll just play a couple.
That's the trap.
Yeah, it was, because then it just became like, and it was 2 of us had work the next morning, and then we played, and I was like, all right, what time is it? And I see because maintenance was at midnight, and it ended up being like what 12:45 or something. I'm like, I should go to bed. And then the other guy's like, yeah, me too. And then he's like, they're like, or we could play one more. I was gonna be like, no, but then our other friend was like, fuck it, you're right. Let's play one more. I was like, shit. And I'm like, all right, if it's all 4 of us, let's go. And
so with Fall Guys, they've put in like a few patches, right?
There's supposed to be a big one. I don't know. I think it was either yesterday or sometime this week.
So
I don't know if it's happened
has anything changed since? Like, I haven't played Fall Guys in maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks or so. Yeah.
Because I know, like, some of the games I know they changed, or they at least mentioned like, hey, we're changing this game to it does this now instead of that. But I don't know if any of the big patches or changes have come through yet.
I don't know if the big ones came through yet. I think they've just made tweaks, because I haven't really seen. It'd be like tweaks as in like, oh, this game appears less, and then this game would appear more, or something like that. But
did they change the game where it's everybody in a circle and there's the green pole that spins and you have to jump over it? Have they changed that one yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. That's okay.
I think that was one game. Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's one game, right? That they were planning on adjusting, or no?
Yeah, they're changing that.
Okay.
Because as the game goes on, it's going to be split into like quadrants, and as the game goes on, parts of the quadrants just fall off, and so players have to be more proactive, basically.
Oh, so that's like that's the finale game, kind of, right?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Because the final one's like gold, like they have the gold like bars or whatever, and it just rolls, it goes around. But then yeah, it wasn't quadrants; it would be more like 1/8, like I don't know. I don't remember how many sections actually they divided up into, but platforms would fall down, and you would have to like actually pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, just been playing more of that. I've also been playing Final Fantasy, except probably not as much as you guys, because I also I'm trying to catch up on shows as well, just because I'm like, all right, I have time now. Let's just actually catch up on stuff. But no, so with Final Fantasy, I had a Steam version. Then I read up on like how there's some issues, and I ran into a couple like starting up sometimes, and then it finally just came down to, I should just get it directly on the launcher, whatever. And had to switch out emails, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So I technically had to replay up to a certain point twice. Like it was weird. It sucked because it was
annoying.
like it sucked because I want to do ninja just because I'm like fine it, fuck it, I'm actually gonna do it because I was saying how I want to do monk. So I essentially played up to like level 15 to actually get to the next spot. Restart, play rogue, and I got up to a point, then quit to switch over and had to redo that again. So
Oh, jeez, this is like third route.
yeah, essentially fourth route at this rate. That's what it feels like. I've done, except this time I went. I think I went paladin route too as my first one. I forgot what
So you pick gladiator.
I picked gladiator first this time. Just did that up to 15, then switched over to rogue. Yeah, I think I kept that just in case like I want to do tank because I feel like I was like looking between warrior and paladin. And I was like, I think I like paladin more. I guess maybe we'll see. But the nice part about this game is you could just switch. So why does that matter?
It's so easy to switch. It's just basically like personal preference.
Yeah. It's fun to explain this game to certain people. I'm like, hey, you should try this out. They're like, oh, MMOs are like, oh, so do I have to make... It's always down to, do I make a new character for a new class? I'm like, no, you don't. So I think that's a plus. But you still regrind, but it's not like you have to do too much, you know?
You regrind, but it's also... They give you a bonus, basically. If it's not your highest level class, you get bonus XP.
Yeah,
which
just to get back to the
is
highest.
super nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is dope. I'm like, that's cool. So...
It's very user friendly, or very like, it's very player friendly.
But yeah, just playing that. I played random, but I played Animal Crossing for the first time in a while. But it was only because my girlfriend's like, "Hey, let's buy turnips again." I'm like, "All right, sure." And it was funny. It's funny.
The market.
It's funny because I was trying to get because I haven't fully developed my house because I barely play. But I finally got to the basement today because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell my turnips." Oh, there's a spike. Let's check it out. 600 bells. Okay, shit.
Oh my god.
It's like the one random week that I
don't think I've ever gotten turnips more than like 200.
Yeah, no. I think the highest before this was like maybe like 200 something, but it wasn't, or maybe 300 at my girlfriend's place. But I've never seen like this number. I was like, what the fuck? This is possible. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really played much else because I'm trying to catch up on Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's like really easy to catch up to.
Yeah. It's such a nice game where it's like I was watching a show on this because I've been watching Lucifer because I caught up on that.
Yeah.
But I can watch with my girlfriend and have that on the side and just mindlessly play Final Fantasy and this is what I kind of miss about MMOs. And it's just like, oh, you can actually just auto walk to the place, you know, and just do like, it's just, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels like you can do. There's some tasks that are more mindless in a sense, and that like you could just, I think autopath or just kind of like click and attack and passively hit 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Or just do your combo passively, and I don't have to pay attention too much. Versus like I played Destiny for like a little bit because I'm trying to get like this one couple catalysts before it goes away, but playing that passively is way harder. Like, for instance, like, oh, I had to pull up the map and I stop. I'm like, that's like little things where I'm like, all right, I miss MMOs. Because Destiny is a quote unquote MMO. Yeah, whatever. It's
MMO
still
light.
It is still just, I don't know how to, it is what it is. So, playing, and then I will say, like, it's nice that, like, because I was like super tired, so I didn't feel like talking in the Discord or just being in it. I was like, really, it was just too lazy to like click on it. But like one night, I saw you guys. I'm like, I can easily ask for help on this one thing, but I'm just gonna queue up and just wait and do something else on the side. So, and I think that was like a nice touch because I do like it's just like coming from like playing Destiny for a while to this. I'm like, oh yeah, group finders. That's a thing. That's fun. In-game group finders.
Yeah.
In-game. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, just watching Lucifer because like DC Fandome, like WB stuff. So I'm like, all right, that's a show you guys should watch. I think it's funny. I think it's
Lucifer.
Great.
I've heard good things about it.
It's pretty good. I think because it was season 5 right now. I think like the first 3 were on what was it, whatever like network it was on, and I think season 4 and 5 are on Netflix. So like first few felt like TV-ish, but still like fun. And then the last two, recent two, are like, oh, because it's Netflix. Oh shit, this is good.
Yeah, like I haven't watched anything. It's mainly I'm just waiting because The Boys is next week, so I'll be watching The Boys.
Oh, that's right, next week.
Yeah, and then Agretzko comes out tomorrow, and I really like Agretzko on Netflix. So,
is that what's that again? It sounds familiar.
It's an anime where
is it the
she's like a red panda.
Yeah,
and she works in an office setting and she screams. Yeah, I really like that one. They're having season 3 drop tomorrow.
Season 3? Oh, okay. Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Are they short? Yeah. Are they like short episodes? Or I mean, like I guess season shorts.
Yeah,
seasons are short.
I think like maybe 10, 11, or 12 episodes a season.
Okay.
But it's really fun to watch. It's something my girlfriend and I really like to watch. But yeah, it's like, because last episode we talked about other shows. I was like, man, I haven't watched anything lately. And then suddenly like, oh, here's 2 shows I really like that I'm really like wanting to watch.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that's on my list. So I was like, I haven't asked anyone because I always forget it's on my list. But then you mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, should watch that. Something cool.
Yeah. Boys next Friday's
The
Boys. And that's what I'm really excited about.
Oh, let's go. So excited. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Cause Lucifer, Segway, easy. WB, DC Fandome, boom, easy. Now we're here. Main topic.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to like get to this because I feel like how we're gonna do it. At least me, I'm just kind of go down the list of like the main stage as I'm treating it, because panels and all that. But we're gonna probably hit like the big stuff, but then like kind of touch on other stuff if we actually watched yours and stuff like that. Because this is a lot. There's a lot. It
was a lot to talk about.
It's a lot. It was a long day. I mean, I had it on like in the background, so it was like I paid attention to the big stuff, but there's like certain things I'm like, oh, I'm interested. I'll listen to this panel. And I will say they handled this very well, in my opinion, considering COVID.
Yeah.
Because I think like just stream, perfect. Free for everyone, perfect. They still had it like panel wise. So it was like still like they had video conference of like certain actors coming in for certain things. And it's just like, oh, it's an actual panel. I think it still felt kind of weird, but given the circumstances, it was good. Like Q&A, it was sometimes I'm like, is this actual Q&A or is this like, oh, it's just like a quick,
like how much of it was scripted?
Yeah. So I was like, how much of this was scripted? How much of it wasn't? But I think it made one example was like, first thing was Wonder Woman 1984. That I think that was a good start because that was like the one confirmed thing. Did you guys watch the trailer for that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Hype or nah?
Yeah. I was excited for it. It looks really cool. My one like, I guess nitpicky thing is they do this all the time. Is when someone like goes evil, they like forget how to do their eyeliner or something. And it just looks like smudged on there. And it's like that's the sign that she's evil. I don't know why they do that all the time, but I just thought it was silly.
You're right, they do.
Yeah, it's in a lot of shit, but
it's always like, and I feel like it's mostly for, and I think it's sad because I feel like it's always because it's women, and it's like I hate it because it makes it sound like, oh, they're sad and now they're evil because all that eyeliner stuff is probably because they were crying their eyes out.
Their makeup isn't perfect. Now they're bad.
Now they're bad.
That's a very like 1950s way of looking at it.
I can't remember. I was trying to liken it to Spider-Man 3, and he didn't go like evil, but he went
emo.
He went emo. Yeah. Did they give him guyliner or
no? I think he just went pale.
Just wear black.
I think he just went black.
Yeah, I think the way they shot certain scenes, it made him look
okay.
Like
more.
Some of the shots like accentuate the shadows under his eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and that's like another thing. Evil, like just people that go evil, like all of a sudden have
classic trope, classic evil person trope.
Yeah, it's just like eyeshadow and stuff.
Eyeshadow.
Like, what if they're just tired?
Yeah. What if they just had a long day, man?
They're evil because they haven't gotten enough sleep. but
yeah.
Anyway,
that was like a non thing for me.
It's like a little
funny.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of. It looks like they'll have like a lot of fish person out of water time jokes, which will be
fish person out of water.
Fish person out of water time.
Exactly. I think, yeah, like I'm really excited for it too, and it is funny, like you mentioned that, Ian, because it was kind of the opposite in the first one, where Diana is the one who's very much out of place in like World War I,
right?
Universe.
Right.
I have like two I guess thoughts about the movie. I feel like this trailer was almost exactly what the first one was, just with the addition of Cheetah as the villain.
Cheetah reveal.
So yeah, the trailer was still really cool, but I was not as wowed. And this is more of just a general complaint of how Gal Gadot plays Wonder Woman. I just wish she was a lot more buff. like not being like eye candy mode, but like she seems very slim for Wonder Woman, and it throws me off. Especially, I've seen some really good cosplays of Wonder Woman, of women who are like really buff, and this is pure speculation on my part. So feel free to completely ignore what I'm saying, but I feel like there's something weird going on with Gal Gadot's training regime, where she doesn't want to get really buff, because there are so many really good actors and actresses who like dive into the physicality of whatever part they're playing, or they're like willing to go through really extreme processes, like Christian Bale as an example, where Christian Bale both got really fit for when he played Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy, but in some of his other films he's gone like, you know, I'll gain 30 pounds and I'll be this overweight, blah blah blah. And I feel like Gal Gadot's just like, I'm Gal Gadot, this is what I look like. And like, that's fair. I'm not gonna like body shame her, but like, just as a fan and someone who appreciates like really muscular builds, male or female, just like, I wish Gal Gadot looked more fit. It's just a stupid nitpick that, especially with this trailer, the more I watch is like, I wish there was just more muscle, because it would just make sense to me.
That's a fine line to walk, because I've heard a lot, like at least like every time I talk to someone in the office, for instance, like back then they're like, oh, she looks fit, but I think that's like the hard part. It's
also
like go on. Sorry.
There's like, I think especially with how popular superhero movies were, like with the advent of Marvel, having that quote unquote superhero physique is very like unhealthy, because they have to do a lot of extreme dieting and like they lose a lot of water weight, which is unhealthy, just so they look very like physically appealing. But I totally understand where people come from. Where like, she is fit, and I would agree. Like, I think in terms of like in real life, Gal Gadot is probably extremely fit.
Yeah.
But did you just use the wrong adjective? Maybe. You're
I was
talking
gonna
about
ask.
jacked. Like,
yeah, you're talking like.
But, yeah, she doesn't even need to be jacked, but like,
just
she's definitely fit. Yeah,
she's fit, but this does lean more into, I wish there was a little bit more like superhero physicality, but not to the extent of like, hey, I'm miserable because my diet is god awful, and you know, I've lost 10 pounds this week just because I'm like trying to cut down. But in terms of like bulk, like maybe it's just bulkiness. Like when I think of Amazon or Wonder Woman, I think of someone who's like relatively bulky. Like, in comparison to like a regular female body. That's my expectation, is like a little bit more like muscle mass. But like I said, this is completely what I wish. It is a garbage take, because I like unrealistic things. But regardless, I'm super excited for the movie. Like, my girlfriend and I both really like the first one. And I think regardless of what I personally like, as long as DC movies seem like they're doing well, we get more, which hopefully leads to a Green Lantern movie, which is what I want. So, long way short, I really like the trailer.
My one thing I was gonna add. Have you seen the Injustice Wonder Woman, like the game?
Injustice?
Yeah.
No, I've only ever played Injustice
One,
way back.
Yeah, Injustice
when
1.
I was playing it at your place,
Oh,
and I don't remember very well.
yeah. That's when you talk about like that. I'm like, I feel like that was the closest thing, and it was one. It was a game, so obviously, it just didn't look right. But I think it's because like that's a game, so it's like they probably like didn't.
Yeah, like you
The
can
assets
go
weren't
kind of
probably not that
extreme.
good.
Oh,
So-
dog, she got cap delts. Shit.
Yeah.
But
That's
anyway, yeah. So I thought, same as everyone else. I really liked Wonder Woman because I'd say like at the time it was probably like the first solid movie, and the biggest joke was always, "See, this is what happens when you focus on one character." Ooh, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
not immediately start with the cast.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
besides Superman, I think everyone else was like in a joint movie, right? So it's just giving her like the story, like actually giving her a focus was like, oh wow, this is actually really good, and I think that's why the movie did so well. And I mean, the story at the time was great. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this. I think that's the other thing was this movie was supposed to come out already. I think, from what I remember, I think it was supposed to come out already. I don't remember, or maybe that was Mulan. It was supposed to be. I feel like it was supposed to be out by now, and that's why like the trailer looked kind of the same because I think the expectation was the movie was gonna be out. So
And they just had to postpone it.
and they just had to
obvious
postpone because
reasons.
for COVID, or maybe it was supposed to, or maybe it is supposed to come in
Yeah.
October. I don't
Originally,
remember.
1984, Wonder Woman 1984 was August 14th.
Oh,
Okay,
that was
yeah, alright.
that was
Supposed to
the
be, like,
original. So
2
it
weeks
has
ago.
it has been pushed back.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be 2 weeks.
Now it's
2 weeks ago.
October 2nd.
Yeah. So I feel like they didn't really have a good trailer to show. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe they just don't want to reveal too much. That's the fine line they have to walk, considering everything. So I think Cheetah was cool. I forgot like the cast because I would see the cast. I'm like, oh, he's in this movie. Oh yeah, oh what? But then watching the trailer again, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing this trailer. It's been a while. Because it was more like, oh, I just kind of want to watch the movie at this point. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Yeah. My one. Sorry, were you gonna say something, Ian?
No, I'm just excited. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering how
Yes,
they're gonna
he agrees.
play Pedro Pascal's character. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's the actor.
Right.
Um,
The business
Because
dude, right?
it seems like they're trying to do like a dual villain type thing, or like this is Wonder Woman's like arch enemy, like this is her villain, and then there's the overall plot. My only concern overall with the plot is I hope they don't do
Spider-Man 3.
like a really last minute bait and switch like they did in 1, where oh yeah, here's the villain at like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Here's our Wonder Woman tie-in. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. I get what you mean.
that's my one concern.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've probably heard enough feedback about that they're at least aware of that issue. Probably won't be like going into the same line, but it's still just my one concern. But otherwise, yeah, super excited.
Agree.
What's next? Oh, the Warner Brothers game. Like it was just titled Warner Brothers Games Montreal announcement, which now we know is Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I.
Yeah, so
What do you guys think?
I brought
Actually,
this
what
up
do
to
you guys
you
think?
earlier,
Yeah.
and I was actually surprised that you were hesitant. But it's probably just because I don't know the whole. I haven't played any of the Batman games, so I don't know
Arkham,
like any of the. I don't have a history with any of the makers or anything like that. But it looked really cool to me. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty dope. There's like, it's like fleshing out a lot of these characters that you don't get to play a lot.
Yeah. So I guess the reason why I'm hesitant, well, not super. Okay, so the first trailer they showed was like the story one. Super hooked. I love that. I was like, yes, this is great. I think the whole like it was like the whole Batman's dead. Now it's like all the sidekicks are now like the heroes.
Right.
And at the end, they show Court of Owls. I'm like, oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Give this to me. Give this to me. And then I think I saw gameplay, and I think that's when it kind of...
I would agree.
Yeah.
Gameplay not impressed you guys?
No.
I'm worried. Yeah. You go first.
So correct me if I'm wrong. It's the same developers who did the Arkham series, correct?
They did only Arkham Origins.
Okay.
They did not touch the quote-unquote trilogy.
Okay, because, yeah, my best experiences with Arkham Asylum, because that's the only one I beat. And I played a little bit of Arkham City, but I never completed it.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, I feel like Gotham Knights will be a game that I really want to watch someone play, but I'm not wanting to play myself. The gameplay doesn't look super engaging, and especially like when they throw in co-op, I think like mechanically I feel like co-op is just going to make the game kind of wonky. But to me, there are some things where like it reminds me kind of a game as a service type game, and especially with the comparison of Marvel Avengers. I think it's almost a coincidence, but it seems like Gotham Knights is kind of that answer to Marvel Avengers, and Marvel Avengers, like gameplay wise, to me just doesn't look very interesting. It looks like a more in-depth button mashy hack and slashy type game, and I like those games for some. Like I do like those games, but it doesn't look like it meshes well in Avengers. Like mechanically, it doesn't look very fun to play. And same with Gotham Knights, where the game just doesn't look. And obviously, like this is one trailer, so what do I know about just watching a game? But it doesn't look very interesting to play.
So yeah, so my worries is totally different. I think the gameplay is fine, or I guess the way they move around and all that, like the combat is bar none best combat system in my opinion. I like Batman's combat system, so I'm not worried about that. I think it's just more like when I play the Arkham series and then like even Origins, like just putting it out there, I think Origins was fine. I know it's like divisive. Like some people thought it was good, some people thought it was bad. Then you have Arkham Knight. So it's kind of like there's different camps. Playing those games, I think the combat looks to be what I expect, and I think that's actually good. My only worry is, like Luke said, like it looks like it's going to be like a games as a service, and just seeing like I think what threw me off was like when you see the gameplay, you see the health bars and you see the health bars and the levels,
damage numbers
on top of like minions, right? Like on like the gangs. I'm like, that's not needed in my opinion. It's fine. But I guess they have to show like, oh, it's a co-op. It's going to be, you have to level up to fight these guys. While like in Batman, normally you don't even have to worry about that. It's just a matter of, there's just a mob. How do you survive? Do you get attacked? And you don't have to worry about like, oh, how much damage can I do? Right? I think that's the one thing I don't know about.
Yeah, in this game.
Go ahead.
In this game, it's more like, it's like level based.
Yeah.
It definitely looks that way.
Okay.
Like,
interesting.
while in Batman, most of the time,
it was mainly just like you unlock your gadgets.
Yeah, exactly. You unlock your gadgets. You have better. There's just more a variety of
better
villains.
gadgets. You have like ways to extend or ways to like change your combos, but you mainly have your core kit at the start.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas, like in the gameplay demo, they had like the mooks were like level 10. And so there's definitely going to be some sort of level scaling. But I was going to say it's also... The Arkham series, I think, was really good as a single-player game because you do have a very strong incentive to play stealth. And with Gotham Knights, especially with the specific gameplay trailer they had, it seems like stealth is still a part of the game. But like I mentioned before, it seems like there's going to be a bigger emphasis on just open combat. and I'm not a big fan of that in like that kind of gameplay.
So
because it does seem a little bit like hacky slashy, whereas in the original Arkham games, there was a definitive like rhythm to how you would play in like an open fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess my only, what was the other part? There was another part. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, going back to the bot or the health bar thing. Just to add on top of that, like Mr. Freeze having a health bar is fine because I think it's a boss. That's not terrible, but it's still kind of jarring. And then with the combat, I think it's just hard. Like to me, watching, I was like, okay, this looks solid in my opinion, but I think it's just like, how are they gonna do with the co-op? But I think I also read up that this game is still going to be open world regardless, so it could be just more of a drop in drop out type of thing. Like you'll have people just you could have someone's Robin.
You just have like a lobby and then, yeah.
But you can still, I think, and that's where I want the game to be good because I want the story to be good, and I'm just worried that the fact that they push for co-op, or if it's even being pushed, I don't know, but I just don't want that to hinder the story, because I think the story that they're gonna have, it could be really good, because they handled Origins pretty well, I think. And then that's why the other thing is, I think Origins handled bosses pretty well in comparison to like the most recent Arkham Knight. But just because like Arkham Knight, my issue with it was they just focused on tanks, or the Batmobile can become a tank, which then made it a tank battle at the end for a boss, and it was just really fucking dumb.
Yeah, like the other Arkham games, the boss fights were like puzzles, like more puzzle than actual fights. At least from what I remember.
That was Asylum had more of that, and I think Arkham City it was a better mix. And then Origins actually had legit boss fights, I felt like, because it's like, there's like, you have to fight Bane this certain way. You fight Deathstroke in this way. So knowing that this
that's what I mean. Like you would still fight the boss, but it wasn't just like a straight up, hey, just fight the guy. It was like, you have to bait him a certain way, or like certain gadgets will make him do this. So you use this gadget to make him go here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just seeing like the gameplay, I think with Freeze, I think it was like, okay, they're going somewhat in direction. So I think I'm just hesitant because every time sometimes they bring a co-op thing, it should be an addition versus it is the main.
Yeah, like it's a core feature versus. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So that's my only hesitation with it, because it's like, what if the game becomes hard and you have to have someone come in, right? That's my only thing. Or I guess if they could do it like Avengers, where depending on your characters that you level up, you could bring in your own Hulk, and then that has their kit.
And so that's the other thing too, where like, since it does seem like a games as a service, there I think are certain points where it might just be unsatisfying to play with a partner, because like if they just have better drops than you, then they can just kind of like, hey, let's play Gotham Knights together, and then they just inevitably just do all the content for you because they have better gear.
Yeah,
it's very,
but
it's a fine line they'd have to ride.
Yeah, I feel like if they can scale it like most.
Yeah, like if you could like you level them down, like you basically have level sync like in Final Fantasy 14. But it's a fine line, and that's just because games as a service is very tricky to play around.
Otherwise, I'm more hyped, but it's just like I'm hyped for the game, but I'm also just hesitant. I'm hyped because I'm like, Court of Owls is actually a thing. Like it's been rumored for years that it's going to be that, and then finally they said it. I'm like, okay, cool. And to me, Batman's not dead, because I've been reading so much like speculation. Like people are like, it's more like everyone's like, he's not dead, but here's why. So it's just fun to read like reasons, and I think the general consensus is everyone is hyped for Court of Owls to actually be thinking like,
it's like the story will be really cool, but it's just there's the potential it's just tacked onto a game.
It could be watered down. Yeah,
an average game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Ian? We kind of had our.
Yeah, I know. We just kind of.
Did you have anything else?
I mean, like I said, I haven't really been invested in the series, so I just thought it looked cool. I thought it was a cool chance to like play characters that you don't get to play a lot. Like I think you only get to play Nightwing in like Injustice, or maybe in some of the old Batman games it's like a side character to Batman, but they like showed off Batgirl, Nightwing,
Red Hood.
Yeah,
Robin.
like in I was gonna say because you can play them, but it was more like you could play it on challenge matches or challenge maps or like challenge fights. So you can play all these characters, but it wasn't like I can't play them in the open world as much. As
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So this kind of gives that chance.
Yeah, like I am glad at least that they are going outside of, everybody knows Batman versus Joker, Batman versus Freeze. It's like the Court of Owls, I think it's like a step away from mainstream Batman.
Yeah,
because
it's like new.
Yeah, it's new because you are playing characters you normally aren't exposed to. So that's why I'm excited. Like a new story, and they're starting to like dip their toes into the bigger Batman universe, but it's just the game is kind of the wall in the way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, I guess like as someone that's already played all the games, like they've touched the universe pretty well in all the other ones. So I'm just excited to see how they do it with this, because I know it's not supposed to be Arkham. It's not exactly the Arkham universe.
Yeah, they even
That's the other
this is
thing.
a different timeline.
Yeah,
but
I love that DC's actually just like going all in and hey, this is all different universes.
Yeah, it's like it's the multiverse. We're doing it.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It sets them up for like a lot of freedom in what they choose to do.
Yeah, because I remember
hints from Into the Spider-Verse.
Right, pretty much.
Because that's what they're doing with the Flash movie. Like, there are 2 Batmans in that movie, so there's clearly gonna be some weird like timeline shenanigans.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Let's see. So that's that game. I'm just gonna kind of run down the panels just to see if anyone watched them. They had the Sandman universe. I didn't know. I left. I think I went to go make food after this because I was hungry.
That was with Neil Gaiman?
That was
yeah.
That was one of the panels I actually like watched full through because I really like that universe, and it's super biased because I really like Neil Gaiman, but I've always thought the Sandman universe is just cool. So I'm really excited for that because they're doing like a live action Netflix show.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah.
There isn't too much I can say without getting spoiled just to the series because I've read it. It's just a really cool universe because there are different takes on characters. Like there aren't a lot of like super mainstream DC characters in Neil Gaiman or in Sandman. But he just has really interesting characters and interesting like crossovers. That's I think all I can really say.
Yeah. I actually have no like I know about it, but I haven't read anything as much as you probably, so I don't have much to say either.
Yeah. It looks like the series is going to be like the usual like Netflix polish style of show. So.
Yeah. Like
which is nice. That's good.
Just the series as a whole, like the Sandman series, it feels like American Gods to me in that they have these characters and or concepts that are just kind of you wouldn't normally see in any sort of medium, and that they're given like their time in the light, and that's why I really like it.
That's cool.
I don't know if you guys ever saw American Gods, but that's what it makes me think.
I think I saw like a few episodes, and I've been meaning to watch it because I'm super interested in that actually. So
I will say that that panel got me interested in Sandman because I haven't read anything of it, but the art that they showed looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I really like the art from the novel.
Let's see. Next was
definitely something to check out.
Yeah. I need to check it out.
I'm going to recommend that to everybody. Sandman's really cool.
I need to look into that. Let's see. What's the next one? Oh yeah, Multiverse 101. It was I actually came back to watch because after I made food, I watched this part because it was just up. But I think the nice part about this one was it was mainly like talking about like CW. I think the movie the cinematic universe, and then I think maybe just everything else. Because they had oh my god, who do they have on the panel? They had can't remember names all of a sudden. This is really bad. Anyway, my mind's blanking right now. But essentially, I think the nice part that they talked. My one good takeaway from this panel was like, I think they understood their issue with how they were like holding certain characters away from, like, let's say CW. Oh, we can't have Batman or Superman pop up.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started realizing that was a crutch, and they were like, oh, or like it was just like hindering them from actually like making these shows better by like including everyone. Like, oh, this is universe. I think they were like saying, oh, we were initially like everyone was worried about how, oh, I'm confused with who's who, blah blah blah. But finally, they're just in the mindset of, let's just do it. Let's just like embrace it and just like let everyone just have their thing. We can assume that people are smart enough to possibly figure out who's who. Like, oh, this Batman's different from this one, but
yeah, that's what's cool about like multiverse stuff is you can, as long as like they look similar to the comic character, like you know, you can have like 2 different actors or 3 different actors.
There's a lot of leeway you can do.
Yeah, and I think it adds more creative freedom. I think it's just nice. Like right now, it's really interesting. We're in an interesting spot of. There's always been like a Batman era. Like there's an actor that's playing this Batman for a bit, right? Like, like Christian Bale was it for a while, and it's now it's Batfleck, and then now it's like, oh, we're gonna have Robert Pattinson, but then also bringing back Keaton. Yeah,
you had Keaton before that. You had West.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like I feel like it's a lot of DC because you had Batman, you had Superman for a little, because you had I think Christopher Reeves is like the quote unquote golden standard of Batman or Superman,
right?
And then you had Henry Cavill for a bit, and then
Brandon
the Joker.
Ruth, yeah,
you had like 4 or 5 notable Jokers. It's just I feel like it's only DC characters.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's interesting that they can do that,
and I'm just happy that they're embracing it. Like even like they teased like the 3 Jokers, like the comic book. Or at the time it was a comic book, so they teased that comic line, and it was like 5 years ago, and they finally brought it about this past weekend. I was like, yes, I've been waiting for years just to read this one. So we'll see, because we'll see.
For years.
Just can't wait. I'm just glad that they're finally like they have a direction that they're gonna stick to. Maybe we'll see, but instead of trying to follow Marvel, they just kind of do their own thing, which is fine. As long as we get movies that do, and they do well, that's all I want. Speaking of new movies, the next one was the Flash panel. Did you guys watch that?
No, I didn't.
It was really short. There's not that much. I think they're just like talking about the cast. They can do some Q&As, but I think they teased the new Flash suit, and it looks way better in that like it looks more quote unquote organic and not like armored, right? So I thought that was cool. I was like, sweet. Just give me the movie. I think
it makes, and this is with Ezra Miller.
Yes,
is that right? Okay.
Yes.
I think it makes sense too, because his suit does look like in Justice League. It does look armored, and it looks very much kind of jury rigged together.
Right.
I feel like after he gets to hang out with Bruce Wayne, he's like, I'm gonna give you a real suit.
Yeah. So that's the suit supposed to be.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. What was else? Next part, what they did like a Batman Beyond short. There's some animated shorts they did, and Kevin Conroy voiced a lot of the Batman stuff, and it was just fucking hilarious. Like anyone listening, just look up those. Like I think it was like Batman Carpool. They like did a funny one with that. They did like the Batman Beyond one was both Terry McGinnis and Bruce Wayne find out about Adam West Batman, and they just like react to it. It's just fun. It was just good time. It was a good time. Like the funniest thing was like they see Joker, and I'm like, Bruce Wayne's like, does he have a mustache? And he just stays on that. He's like, and later on he's like, that doesn't look right. That's just what? And it's just, man, Kevin Conroy probably had like a blast voicing all this stuff. Let's see. What was next? Oh yeah, Suicide Squad. This is the movie that was shown.
Yeah, the James Gunn version.
The James Gunn version.
Yeah,
I think that they just did like character reveals on this, right? They didn't really do anything else.
It was basically just essentially, here's the full main cast.
Yeah.
And a few just kind of behind the scenes looking shots.
18 people.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to juggle. That's just a lot to juggle. Like they are showing them like as if they're like the main cast, right? Like they're announcing them that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting.
I'm really excited because I'm excited because I feel like James Gunn is really passionate about the project, and I'm always excited when someone else is excited for the project because I feel like that means they're doing their due diligence to make it good. But I was definitely surprised. I did not expect the kind of setting they were going for in this one, because the original Suicide Squad was basically like a modern day setting.
Right.
And they talk about, oh yeah, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It's like 1970s.
Yeah.
And you can tell because some of the suits look ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the ridiculousness of it, but I was definitely taken back by how bad some of the suits looked. But it plays upon like 1970s comics. Like some of the characters did look that goofy.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's playing upon like it's a choice, right? It's not.
Yeah, they're going for an aesthetic, and I was not expecting that aesthetic at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the amount of like people that are in here. Not just like the number of them, but like who is in here.
Yeah, like they have some big names in there.
Big names.
Like you got Pete Davidson. You got. I mean, of course, with Harley Quinn, you have
Margot Robbie. I was surprised because they had Margot Robbie, who played Harley Quinn, Viola Davis, who plays Amanda Waller, and I think it's Joel Kinnaman. He's playing Rick Flag. It's Rick Flag. Like three people from the original Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I was surprised they were willing to come back.
I think,
and
I wonder if it's James Gunn.
See, that's what I'm wondering if almost like with Zack Snyder and Justice League, maybe people want to come back because it's him specifically. But yeah, I was really surprised they were coming back. But you have Idris Elba, you have Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
John Cena. Like you have some pretty big name people.
I wonder, most time it's like, what if they get, like, I don't know, most time I hear actors, like, say, like, oh, I got to see the script, and that's when they, like, decide, right? So I don't know how much of a script James Gunn had, but maybe that's a thing, too.
I feel like I interrupted you, Ian. Were you going to say more? My bad.
No, you're good. I was just going to go over some more names, but you hit them.
Hit them.
I'm stealing your thunder.
Yeah.
See, I'm personally excited for Idris Elba. Because
I agree.
I really like him as an actor. I feel like lately he's been in some really bad, he's been in some movies that don't show off his acting prowess. Like, I mean, he was in the Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
That movie was great, and he was great in it. They know exactly what kind of movie they're making.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Just to ham it up completely.
Yeah, Black Superman.
Yeah,
but I mean, he was in The Dark Tower, which was bad.
That wasn't great.
He got shafted with the Thor franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's such a cool character in there, and then they just give him like 2 seconds of screen time or something.
Yeah, like I think
then he dies.
They at least gave him a lot of screen time in Ragnarok.
I was gonna say Ragnarok, he got a lot.
That's fair.
Yeah, I remember in some interview he even talked about like almost like everyone in the Thor franchise, he just wasn't really happy with his part in the Thor franchise, and then Ragnarok happened. He was like, "Yeah, okay, this is acceptable."
That's like everyone.
And then he died. But yeah, my boy Idris, I'm really hoping has a lot of fun because I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's done a lot of great work.
I can't wait to see more. On this.
Yeah, that's mostly where I'm at too. It's like I like it's cool.
Like I think the first trailer,
see the trailer, yeah,
the first trailer I think is going to be a big selling point, or a big turnoff point for a lot of people.
I guess we'll see, because I just want to see how this can turn around. It's always like I just want to see if they can flip this. This is
especially we talked about this before we started recording. A lot of their characters are not characters you would even expect, and like these are some D-list characters.
Polka Dot Man.
From what I know, and I know nothing. When you have someone like Polka Dot Man or Weasel, it's like you're pulling deep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Wait. Like James Gunn did that with Guardians. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was, you could argue, like a C-level or even D-level Marvel cast. He made it like.
I think these are worse. Like these are
these
way
are
worse.
These are some.
He's
mainly just from the name.
Same like team composition though. You always got to have one animal companion. Rocket Raccoon.
Oh
Weasel.
shit!
Well, they got two now because they have King Shark.
Dude, King Shark though. I'm hyped.
Yeah, but he's more like the Groot, right? Or the Drax.
He's
okay. That's fair.
He's more like the Drax, if anything. But I want to see how they portray him because like King Shark has been getting a lot of love in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, he's in both the Suicide Squad things that were announced.
Yeah. I mean, wild. He's been. It's like that. The Flash. He's been popping up more. This TV show. I mean, and then like even the Harley Quinn show.
That's why we know they're listening to us because we always joke about street sharks. So like, all right, give him King Shark. Make him happy. That's the only reason why
they're listening in. Big Brother is hearing.
They're listening.
Yeah, I think we're all excited for that.
But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
I'm excited, but it's kind of like the Green Lantern. Like you have a huge black mark on this franchise, and it's going to take a lot to kind of come back from that.
Mi familia. Yeah,
yeah.
We'll see. I think the next big thing was the Snyder Cut, but there's a bunch of panels in between. Did you guys want to touch on any of that? Because I did see.
I leave that up to you.
Okay.
You're like I said in the previous episode. This is your show.
Yeah. So there was like they touched on the females of color, which I think was really. It's crazy to think of like how much representation is like jumping up now, comparison, which I think is amazing. Let's see. There's that. Like, see a Bat panel. That was. I don't think me as a Bat fan didn't watch that one. I totally forgot.
What?
That Chris Daughtry performance. The Joker panel was actually really good. I don't know if you guys saw that, but they like kind of went through like just all the Jokers, and it was just
it was just like a history of the Joker,
which I think was just cool. I was like, oh, this is well done. This is well done. Like all these panels were actually well done, given everything. Jim Lee did like a portfolio review, which I thought was cool. Like people would send in their stuff, and he would like give them like critiques and like constructive criticism and everything. I was like, that's really cool.
On like their art.
Yeah, on their art. Like I think the one I saw, like he's like one guy submitted a couple, and he'd be like, "Oh, this looks really good. I see the style you're going for. Like, what happens if you add a shadow here? What happens if you do like a shading like this, or position it this?" It was just really cool. I was like, "Oh, that's really awesome for people that got to get into that. Like, just to have a legend, Jim Lee, like just talk about everything with that. I was like, oh, this is cool. I wish I could draw." Yeah, other than that, it was the voices behind the cow, like I think that was the joke too. That was one of the videos that made a joke about it as well. Oh yeah, okay. So Snyder Cut.
Yes.
Oh man.
What are your thoughts, boys?
Ian, I'll let you go first.
I mean, it looks a lot different. But I mean, I've only seen that trailer for it, so it's for me. It's kind of one of those things where I'm gonna watch it, and just whether or not
it sticks.
Yeah, whether or not like it's, I don't know. Like I'm curious enough to like see what the original vision was supposed to.
Yeah, I think that's like the main thing that everyone wants to see, because that's for years the people have been like, just give us the Snyder Cut. Like it was like a meme, then it became like a real thing that like everyone just kept hashtagging and found. And I mean, yeah, now it's happening. So I'm like, all right, cool. This better be good. But I mean, oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, my thoughts on it is like, to me, the Justice League movie was not that good. But I have always wondered what would happen if Snyder was able to continue like actually directing it and like quote unquote giving us his vision of that whole thing. So I guess we get a chance to do that now. And of course, they're making it quote unquote like they're making it 4 hours, but like broken up into 1 hour segments on HBO Max. So I wanted like I remember being super hyped for Batman v Superman, and I had fun watching that movie. But then we're not having fun with Justice League, so I don't. And then knowing how like the whole thing was made, like with Joss Whedon stepping in, having to take over on parts of it, I want to see like how everything was actually supposed to be. Like seeing Black Suit Superman hyped me up. Seeing like the scene where Flash saved his Iris like actually happened. I'm like, oh yes, finally we can actually see it. Like I remember hearing so many things about how scenes were cut out, and like actors were like, oh, this actually sucked. Like I remember filming that, and like actually this was supposed to be cool, adding some depth to the character. Like, and I mean, watching the trailer, I remember like watching, I was like, okay, there's a lot of new stuff we haven't seen. Like they're actually putting in Darkseid. I'm like, okay, cool, that was actually supposed to happen. Steppenwolf actually looks way better in my opinion. Like
the fucking
he doesn't look like he's made of clay.
Yeah, he actually
he's got like
looks
full body
terrifying.
like scale armor.
Yeah, so I'm actually more. I would say I'm really excited to see this because I'm like more DC stuff, sure, and I think it's just this is really hyped up. So I think that's what it is. Like I just want to watch it and just see what's super different.
Yeah, like I'm really excited. Kind of the same reason why when James Gunn took Suicide Squad, it's Zack Snyder. Like this was his like passion project, and he's been pushing really hard, and not just him, but all the main cast Justice League actors and actresses were pushing for the Snyder Cut. Everybody was really excited, and I think it'll be really cool because we do get a lot more scenes showing off backstory.
Yeah.
I do have, I guess, a concern. It's probably brought on by the fact that I'm getting into, like, I'm feeding into the hype. Like, I'm really excited. I'm worried that it's just inevitably Snyder's Cut is just going to be like the original Justice League overall plot-wise. And so it's like, I think everything will make sense with Snyder's Cut. It's just going to be tainted by the fact that we've kind of already seen the big story points already from the original Justice League. Kind of like my biggest comparison I can make is like the Game of Thrones franchise, where we had the Game of Thrones TV show. It was a dumpster fire at the very end. And I feel like overall, the plotline of how the TV show goes is how the book series will end. It's just the book series will make more sense. And I think that it's going to be really good that Justice League will have a lot more context and backstory. But I'm wondering if the ending will be what we expect.
Like the first one? Or like the not first one, but like
I wonder if like the Snyder Cut's amazing, but it still kind of ends with Superman just comes in and stops Steppenwolf. And I don't think that's gonna happen, but that could just be how the Snyder Cut ends, and it'll probably have a lot more backstory context and like cathartic experience, but it's something that's already been tainted because we've seen that from the original Justice League movie.
Yeah, I can see the concern. I think the other thing is and it's so hard to talk about it now as versus like I would follow like things that were like, oh, this was missing. Oh, this was how it's supposed to go down. is actually way darker. Like, for instance, like Aquaman has an alcohol problem the entire time, legitimately. Or like, yeah, I think it's just harder to like, I don't know how to describe it. Essentially, I think it's just going to be interesting. This is a weird thing to do.
Like
it's just weird.
It's going to be hard if the Snyder Cut follows the main story points of the original, because the original, in my opinion, was just bad. And it, like, just purely by association, makes the Snyder Cut look bad. But I think taken individually, or like taken as its own entity, like, I'm sure the Snyder Cut's going to be really good, because there's going to be scenes where things make sense. It's just, it's mainly just a gripe of, it sucks because Justice League was bad, and I hope Snyder Cut is good, but
I think
it has a black mark on it, essentially.
Yeah. I personally think, like, I know a lot of people are like you've mentioned, like, the fact that you're saying, oh, that Steppenwolf fight. I'm like, well, at this point, they might not even, like, they might touch on that, but I feel like there's going to be more to it. First, like, because if they're doing a 4-hour thing, there could be something after that. Like, that was my only worry from back then, was like, oh, they probably had to, like, change things up to make it digestible in, like, the movie theater. But now that they have 4 hours, maybe they can actually delve into, like, stuff after. Maybe that, what if there's something after? This is also me, like,
they even
not
say,
remembering too much.
They've made the statement, and I guess it's their way of confirming that everything from the Snyder Cut is just previously shot footage.
Mm-hmm.
They don't plan on doing reshoots, so there probably is going to be a lot more potentially after that fight. Mm-hmm. So that'll be kind of the interesting thing to see, is how much we lost in Whedon taking over,
which is a lot.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's basically 2 hours to 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about this movie. It's the reason why it's so hard to talk about this movie is, like, it's already came out technically, but now it's like, oh, it's like, and it's not even like a, you know how, like, a lot of movies, like, oh, it's a remake. No, this is just like the quote unquote original shot, right?
Yeah, so, like, this is the original version, which is like, that's why, like, the comparison to me at least makes sense of Game of Thrones. It's like,
yeah, agreed.
The TV show happened, but, like, here's how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering how that's going to interact with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess we'll see at this point.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. That's what it was. Yeah. It's just, it is weird to, like, see a re-release of this. But, I mean, good thing. We'll see. Or bad thing. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I didn't see the Flash TV panel. I had to go to dinner at that point. I was like, I've seen the season. I don't have any questions. The next big thing was Black Adam, technically. Did you guys?
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, that was rumored for forever. Or it was known that The Rock was gonna do it, but it was just sitting there as, like, when are we gonna hear about it, right?
Yeah.
Are you Are you guys hyped for that? I'm just making sure, like, before I, like, go into anything.
Yeah.
So, like, I know almost nothing about Black Adam.
Okay.
But it still looks cool. I think I'm mainly glad for the fact that DC is kind of branching away from just the Justice League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I'm glad they're pulling, like, hey, we're doing Black Adam as a movie. Like, okay, that's really cool. I think it'll be interesting because it's Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he, as an actor, kind of has, he's not, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but, like, I feel like he's kind of typecast as a specific kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering how much that's going to influence the actual movie. Or if Black Adam the movie is going to be, like, a very serious type story, and we get to see Dwayne Johnson as, like, a very serious actor, or if it's going to be, like, more on the funny side, more on the joke side. This is because I don't know anything about Black Adam.
So essentially with Black Adam, he's, like, supposed to be, like, the antagonist to Shazam. And so knowing that, I think it's gonna be more of a serious movie. I would think it would just probably be like how, because you know how did you guys watch the Shazam movie?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, you should. It's pretty good. It's not that bad.
So
Yeah. So he's supposed to be like there's like one seat, quote unquote, that was missing, and he's supposed to be that guy. And he essentially has most of the same powers as Shazam, but essentially it was just like during a different time, and he's just and this is also me not knowing too much, but essentially like antagonist to Shazam, and usually Shazam's the more fun version of it, so that's why and Black Adam being the villain most of the time, I think it's gonna be more serious. But I think it'll be fun to see another different or another different place. Like Atlantis is like something crazy, right? Like, so this is gonna be probably on the same level and also on a different time period and all that. So it'll be interesting. Just seeing the concept art though, I remember people making concept art for this, and I think this was made by Boss Logic too. Like all the concept art that was shown, because he said he worked on it or worked on like image or on the art. So I guess this might like everything you see is probably his work. But other than that, I think that's just hype. I think it's just finally cool to see that it's officially announced versus like, oh yeah, Rock announcing, yeah, I'm doing it, but every actor can say they do it. Like like how Gambit was supposed to be played by who was it?
Channing
Tatum, and it was like that just didn't happen. So I think it's cool that they finally.
That makes me sad.
Right?
I really want Gambit.
No, I really want. I wanted the movie so bad. Wolverine Origins did not do it justice at all. Yeah, so hype for that. I think then they had a Titans TV panel. I didn't watch that. Luke, did you watch that? Ian?
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, same. I guess I didn't watch a lot of the panels because most of the panels is kind of like when you go to a convention and you just kind of, it's mostly Q&A or like the cast talking about certain things. So I was gonna just check it out on YouTube later, but I didn't get to recently. Let's see. They did a lot of let's see, Aquaman, Shazam panel. Yeah, okay. I guess the last two big things really is they did another announcement for another game, Suicide Squad.
Yes.
But Kill the Justice League. And this one's actually made by the same studios that made the Arkham Knight series or Arkham series.
Yeah, it's Rocksteady Studios.
Yeah. And that's interesting.
Dude, the trailer for it was awesome.
I really liked the trailer.
That was great.
It was all cinematic. It wasn't like in game, right? I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, it was just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah,
but I think they nailed it pretty well. Like, it's just just to see the dynamic. And they picked like the popular ones too. It was like Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang,
Deadshot, King Shark,
and then King Shark. Which I'm like, wow, more King Shark.
Yeah,
let's go.
Like they on that like slice the trailer, they got the dialogue and dynamic like perfect in my opinion.
This is the first iteration where I've seen Captain Boomerang actually look kind of cool. Like his power and shit. It actually looks kind of not bad.
It's
not just silly.
Like, Flanderize him into like, I throw boomerangs, ha ha ha.
Yeah. It's like it looks great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, and it's funny because people are like, because this is rumored to be like a Justice League game, right? Because they're like, oh, the next big thing, what's the next big thing for Batman? Justice League. Oh, never mind. It's gonna kill the Justice League. So I mean, I want to see more gameplay, of course. That's the main thing always, but I think it'll be interesting to like take on like the Justice League. Oh, you have to take down these heroes that everyone always wants to play. It's like, oh, now we have to take them down.
Yeah, I'm really curious about how the gameplay is going to be.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's gonna be like Gotham Knights, where like it's a games as a service type thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that might dilute both games.
I don't think it. I feel like with Rocksteady, it might not be. I feel like it would just be
like here's the game and just play it.
Yeah, that's what I would hope. And I wonder if they could do like a GTA system where you could switch between characters, or it was just kind of weird to see Suicide Squad and Arkham Knights, and I'm like, these both look like co-op games.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way they like, at least just only from the cinematic trailer.
Yeah,
it just kind of looks like it might be like a co-op romp where you're kind of like, you could have like 2 to 4 players or 1 to 4 players, and you just it's kind of like objective based, and it's just kind of like a romp with your friends kind of thing.
Yeah, just like it's just a game to play. It's just fun.
Yeah. But I expect some. I think the other thing is I kind of expect quality with this, because I would not saying not saying like WB Montreal is like is they're not bad. It's just like it's always been like Rocksteady always has pushed for like good quality Batman games, so I kind of almost have the same expectations.
Yeah.
Or I guess like let's say like I expect like good graphics. I expect like good game, like actually good controls, good gameplay, good like setups. So I guess hopefully.
I mean, if they didn't blow their, if the cinematic trailer was just like a very small portion of their budget, then it looks like it's going to be really good quality.
Yeah, and I think it's only for next gen consoles too.
It looks like it, because. Or sorry, this isn't in-game footage, it's just cinematic.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
matter.
It looks like 2022.
But,
so
it was 2022. I think at the end of the trailer it showed like only PS5 and Xbox Series X.
So I'm reading what IGN said. It says PS5, Series X, and PC.
Yep.
Oh, and PC.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's see if it runs on PC, boys.
Oh boy.
God, if they pull like another Arkham Knight, that's gonna be so bad.
That's gonna be bad.
Because that's, as much as I said, I think that's just a bad taste in my mouth. It's just playing that game. So I'm like, I remember
it was just straight up not optimized for PC.
You can play the fucking game, but I believe so. I didn't return it, so I left it. So it'll be interesting, because it's gonna be like, because every time like I talk to some of my friends, they're always like, "Oh, I kind of wish it was a Justice League game." I was like, "Do you?
We've had enough Justice League games.
It was not even that. It's just like, how do you like, besides Injustice? That's that's like a fighting game. That's doable. But like, what would you do like? This is just me, but like, how would you handle like Superman flying around? Like, what do you do then? Like, Superman's like the most OP dude. Like, then what? Right? Or like like I think the issue is a lot of the characters are like, they can fly around, and which would be cool. But then like combat wise, what do you do? I'm sure like as I think as bosses they're probably more fun to deal with, right? It's like, knowing that Superman can fly around, knowing that like Green Lantern can like create constructs with his ring. How do you like? I think that would be fun as like you play one of the Suicide Squad members just to fight. Like that would be fun to deal with. But it also seems like it's gonna be interesting, because like the whole city looks like it's fucked, right, by Brainiac. So I'm wondering how what's the whole. There's so much things. Like, what do we expect out of this game? Like, what's the story? This feels like it could be. I joked with one of my friends, like the DC universe online. It was almost the same idea as like Brainiac taking over, and he's like the main villain, and then you have to help with instead you help the superheroes fight. So at this point, the difference is the superheroes are now the bosses too. So
yeah, I'm curious what the like story is here, because it's from the trailer. It's like they had no idea what's happening.
Yeah,
like they don't know that Superman's going AWOL. They don't
Alpha Target. Oh man, that was funny. It's like
that was a cool way to reveal too. that was pretty sick.
Oh man, it was funny because like I remember seeing the poster and it was like Superman with a target on his face, right? And I'm like, the entire time I was like, why do we have to go after him, right? And then all of a sudden I see Brainiac. I'm like, oh shit, of course.
So cool.
I think that's just like a hype thing. It's like, it's a cool announcement. I guess I just want more. I think most of the stuff today or for the panels were like, I just want more. I want more. Just give it to me.
I feel you.
Anything else on that before the big finale?
Nah, that's all I can.
All
I need to say. I feel like
the big finale. Yeah, I got something I want to go back to. Static Shock.
Oh,
hello.
Shit. That was I was like, there's another thing I totally forgot.
I was wondering because I was reading through the IGN list. I was like, yeah, there's Static Shock panel.
Yeah, Static Shock movie.
Awkward.
Potential movie.
I had a different list open up too, so I was kind of switching back and forth. My bad.
I almost knocked something over.
Dude, I was excited to hear that when they were showing that panel because I was like, oh, dude, just give me more Static. Finally, we have Black Lightning as a show, and I'm like, all right, this could lead into something. This could lead into Static Shock. Show to love. So, did they say? I know they're doing a comic line, right? Is that what it said?
Yeah, they said a new all digital comic in February 2021, and then a graphic novel, and they teased it briefly, talked about potentially a Static Shock movie.
Yeah,
potential,
dude.
I'm ready for that potential.
Give that. That was like watching that show back then was so it was.
That show was so good.
That's old school,
dude. It touched on real life shit, hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It initially aired in September of 2000.
Oh my god!
And the last one was May 2004. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has.
Since we've had Static Shock.
Yeah, because it's they only showed then after that Static Shock only showed up in Justice League Unlimited or a Batman episode here. Or no.
Yeah.
Batman was in his show. But essentially, and then I think the most recent thing was the what was that series called? Oh my god. It was it's not the Teen Titans, but it was the DC version of it. Oh my god, I can't.
Young Justice?
Young Justice, yeah. He appeared on that too. So it was he's been getting more.
He's been around.
He's been around, but it's
not.
Give us I know people were give us the show again, or give us a live action. Yeah. So, yeah,
give me something.
I totally brushed over that. That was my bad, dude. I want that. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah. All right. What's our finale?
The last thing. I'm so
hyped for
Batman. The Batman. The trailer dropped. Oh my god, I've watched this trailer so many times.
Yeah.
Let's switch it up. Ian, thoughts on the trailer? Interested? Nah?
No, yeah, I'm definitely interested. It seems very much it's just it looks really cool. It looks really interesting. It seems like the tone they're going for is similar to the trilogy.
Yeah, the
Batman trilogy, Dark Knight trilogy, yeah. It seems like they're going really for a very similar tone to that in terms of just tonality and everything. I'm really curious to see what this is gonna be. I'm trying to think of any specifics in the trailer. For a second, I didn't recognize who Bruce Wayne was. I thought he was the Joker, and I was like, oh, is he watching his own work being done? No, that's Robert Pattinson. Oh, okay, now I understand what's happening. It took me a second watch to actually figure out what all was going on.
Right.
But yeah, no, it I'm excited. It seems great.
No, I agree. The mood that it does feel more Christopher Nolan. At least atmospherically, it's just darker. It has a darker tone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's little things in the trailer where I'm this is a nice touch. It feels like Batman. For instance, him walking out of the he's in the shadows, right? When the commissioner's talking to him, asking for everything, he would just walk up and don't say anything, but it's not oh, this is he's there at night. It's not he's in broad daylight. He's walking around. I think other movies is it's a brighter tone. No, he's in the shadows. It feels like he's just gonna appear out of nowhere, right? So I think versus cutaways, oh, he's just gone. But no, it's he has that mysterious feel.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the
something else? They're also all the bad guys. Horrible mascara and eyeliner. Again.
Wait. Are you talking? Wait. Who?
The dudes with the white faces, they all got the black eyeshadow. Let's see.
Oh, you mean the Joker guys or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Then there's So this is a question I had. Is this the Riddler, a shot of him, or is this Batman?
At the beginning?
He's got like, it looks like he has like a bandana or something underneath. And then he's just got like black paint around his eyes.
Oh no, that's Batman.
Oh,
like at the end,
okay.
where he's looking at the monitor.
I guess. Sorry, I'm looking at
Like,
screenshots. So
I was gonna say, like, there's a part at the trailer where he's taking off the cowl, and he has like just essentially black paint around his eyes, right?
yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
that's
so
that's Batman. Yeah.
Oh.
What'd you guys think of the suit? Seeing it in like action, quote unquote.
I didn't have a problem. It looked great.
Luke?
I'm a huge fan of the suit. So we talked about how it's like kind of pulling on the Nolan universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, that's kind of how I feel because is it Matthew Reeves? Is he the director?
Matt Reeves, yeah,
Matt Reeves. He even said like this film kind of takes place. I feel like it's going to be that in between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Begins.
Yeah,
because this is supposed to be Batman, like freshly working as Batman. So it's like
it's year 2. Yeah,
yeah, he's still learning to be Batman,
mm-hmm.
and like you talked about the suit. I think the suit mirrors that because it's not this like professionally made suit. It's not like really high tech armor. Like you can see the rivets on the suit, and like it looks used, but it doesn't look professional, and I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think one thing was like he's wearing combat boots. Is what it looks like, right?
Yeah, like
when he walks up.
There's so many really cool details I like about the suit, in that he has combat boots. Like you can see he's got combat boots, and then it looks like just plating, either like sewn on or somehow attached, so it's not professional.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the rivets on his armor, so it's obviously like it's him doing his own like jury
like put
rigging
together. Yeah, jury rigging.
and like the leather on it looks like the leather cape and the leather cowl I think looks amazing because it looks like 1940s detective instead of like really modern carbon fiber.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Actually, like compared to like Christopher Nolan, or like,
yeah, like
even
like the Nolan suit looks very high tech because it's like they even talk it's carbon fiber,
right?
And then you go Ben Affleck's looks like
out there. It looks more comic booky, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like the material looks not very. It looks it's like fiber. It looks like fiber.
Yeah.
And then for this one, Matt Reeves' suit, it just looks. It's like this weird hodgepodge that I think fits the tone of what they're going for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also, I'm like a huge fan of Robert Pattinson. Like, I thought The Lighthouse was amazing. I really liked High Life. He was in The King, and I liked The King. I think it's called The King. It's on Netflix.
It's so funny to hear people like, oh, is it the Twilight guy? I'm like, yeah, but he's been in more stuff recently. That he's like, it just shows that his acting has just gotten so much better.
Yeah, and like going back to what Ian was talking about, I think it's gonna be. So I think they casted someone specifically as the Penguin.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's the Riddler too. Like I feel like it's gonna.
Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Farrell. Like those guys you talk about, Ian, like with the bad makeup. I feel like those are Penguin guys. But
that's probably what it was.
In the beginning of the trailer, when they're like, there's like this aura of mystery in the trailer. Like they have the guy taped up, and it's like While the Lies.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically when they show him like there's a letter and it says to the Batman and it's on green, which is like that's the Riddler.
That's
the
Riddler.
Like, anything green. All right, we got Riddler.
Yeah, they did like a lot of they showed a lot of people that it's kind of like, oh, is this guy? Is this guy? Like you said, they have like there's a screenshot of this one guy that's like they show him briefly, and you're like, is that the Penguin?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then of course you get to see Catwoman, so that's cool.
I
thought
that was cool
like
too.
a bunch of, and then like I didn't know who all the guys with the face paint were. But yeah,
I
like
feel
all
like
those,
that's gonna
and you're
be
like,
Penguin
who
henchmen.
were they? But yeah, Penguin makes sense.
And even when they do the release date, it's question mark, so it's like this has to be the
It's straight up.
Oh
Riddler.
yeah, 100%.
Oh,
And then another thing, like it's just another like thing I want to gush about is that I like the fact that he's not doing a voice. Like it's just Robert Pattinson's voice. Like obviously he's doing something with his voice, but it's not the Christopher Nolan like
voice modulator,
super gruff.
Yeah,
and it's not the Affleck modulator.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another touch of.
Oh, you flipped it, but yeah.
No, Nolan had the super gruff, and then Affleck had the voice modulator.
No. Anyway, yeah. I think it was flipped. I thought Nolan had the voice modulator into Kyle, and then like, Batman.
I'm thinking of in Batman versus Superman. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
In his like metal suit, he has the weird
yes,
voice.
Yeah. You're right.
Like it's another touch that,
It's you too.
like this version of Batman 1 is like still young.
Yeah.
But I just like that they're going for a more natural voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Andy Serkis is Alfred. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, this is just like in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. This film has just an all-star cast.
Yeah, it does.
Which another reason why I'm excited for it.
Oh, Ian, you're right. The guys with the white paint, it was like the paint. It's probably the Penguin dudes. Like they had like white paint on their face and then like black everything around their mouth and eyes. Yeah, I'm like looking at the trailer slightly, but I think that the feeling is cool. Like it feels like it's like I think some people are like it's 1990s or before that, like 80s or something. It just feels older, but you still it's modern because people have like smartphones and even like the cars don't look that old. But it's like it just has like that vibe, that just tone, right?
Yeah, everything's just grungy.
Yeah.
This one's definitely exciting.
It's definitely a contender. Like I feel like this could be. It has the potential to be the next best Batman movie, or at least up there. So I guess we'll see. Man,
I think especially because, I don't know the ins and outs of why they decided to do like the movie the way they're doing, but I think it feels a little more special because it's so far distanced from the other Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no Joker, from what we can tell. It's taking Batman at a younger age. It's taking a different set of Batman villains that we're not used to seeing.
Mm-hmm. Or it's been a while, like Penguin.
And we've seen Penguin
him
before. But yeah, it's willing to be its own thing, and I think that's why a lot of people are excited because it's not trying to be the next Batman. It's just like we're doing a Batman movie, and these are our characters. We just want to tell this story.
Yeah,
and it seems like. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead, Harrison.
Oh no, I'm just gushing.
I got because they all mix in my head, so I don't remember. But it seems like this is based off I don't want to say based off, but at least akin to the Batman movie, the older one that also had the Riddler in it, because it also had Catwoman in it and Penguin, right?
Are we talking about Forever or the one as Jim Carrey as the Riddler?
Yes.
Oh, no, probably not. Are you just saying it just has those characters?
It's like that same storyline, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, okay,
but I can't.
Yeah,
like
George Clooney.
Am I wrong? Was that one the one that also had Catwoman and Penguin in it, or am I mixing movies together?
There's a bunch of George. That was a George Clooney one, right? Because
I think it was it Batman Returns?
Jim Carrey,
Riddler.
Because
there is a period where I'm like,
no, it's Batman Forever.
Batman Forever. Is it nipples? Man, then isn't that George Clooney? Is that not the one? Am I crazy?
No, that was Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah.
Okay. No, it looks like I'm mixing my stuff up. Because it looks like the other dude that was in that was Two-Face.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face.
Man, they all blur together at that point.
Yeah, I'm trying to like pull in for some far back knowledge.
Yeah, but
never mind. Ignore what I was saying.
But I
but this will be better than that, hopefully.
I don't have a doubt on that. But I do think I think it's cool like they're actually touching on his detective side more. Because it's the fact that it's Riddler it seems like the Riddler's the big villain, and it's like, oh, he's gonna have to solve some things. And like most other Batman movies, it's like, oh, he has the tech to figure stuff out.
It feels less like a Batman superhero movie and more of Batman detective movie.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it still shows him like beating, like wailing on like those henchmen, and it's like, oh, but he's using like jujitsu, right? And it's just like, or that, yeah, I think so. But no. What was it? I just talked to someone about it.
Maybe I can't, you've seen the trailer more than I have. Maybe he did.
Yeah,
and I only remember the part where he's just beating that guy down. So I was like, he's just punching a guy. That's not jujitsu.
Jujitsu. Yeah, he actually trained jujitsu.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I guess he does a throw.
Because like even like my girlfriend was like she knows like a lot of fighting styles from her dad. So she's like, wait, he's straight up doing jujitsu. I'm like, are you serious? And she was like showing me like scenes, and she's like, no, yeah, this is how they do that. I was like, what? So, and like looking into it, even because my brother was like, everyone was like going crazy, like, oh, like before they're like, oh, he's not gonna be a good Batman, but then you're like looking into like how much he like worked out, how much he bulked up, what he's actually doing, like learning. I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, yeah, it is jujitsu, yeah. So, that's cool, man. Like, there's just like little details because that's actually what Batman learns initially. I'm like, that's actually dope. That's detail. I think one last thing I'm gonna gush about is like the bat symbol on his suit. That's probably actually like the guns that killed his parents.
I'm a big fan. Oh, I didn't realize it was made of something.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people were speculating, and like looking at it more, I think it is like I think they confirmed it. Oh man, I don't remember. Rumors and everything's like mushing together, but essentially it's like the big thing was those are the guns that killed his parents. So he used it as his like bats. The bat.
I just really like the silhouette of it. I didn't realize it was gonna be that metal.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like this movie has so many little things, like little that. It's also probably because I watched that trailer so much.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm looking at a screenshot right now. It literally looks like when it gets to the middle part.
Like, yeah.
It literally looks like a the fucking handle. I can't think of the word, but yeah, it looks like a handle of a gun.
It's like yeah, it's crazy. So I remember seeing that still. Everyone's like, "Is that the guns?" But like, I think they confirmed, or if not, everyone's just going with it because it looks. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and
it definitely has that like piecemeal look to it. At least.
I can gush about this movie so much. I'm hyped, as everyone can tell. I'm fucking ecstatic. I watched this with my parents, and it was just because I was over at their place for dinner, and it was just like my brother was like, "Holy shit, the trailer's up!" So we all watched it. Me and my brother were just like going crazy over this.
Yeah, it's the thing to watch for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll watch this trailer again after this, no doubt. But I guess other than that I just ran out of the list. But just to I guess close it off, what's the most exciting thing you guys are? Or I guess what's the thing you're most excited for? Out of everything,
man, probably the Batman movie, or the Snyder Cut.
One of those two.
Yeah, same for me. Like, those are the two. I mean, they're the two biggest things they announced. And it's the two things that people have been hyping up the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of makes sense. I just really like Robert Pattinson just as an actor, so I'm biased towards that anyway. But I think it's because they're two huge things people have hyped up, and they're more unknown. Like, I feel like Wonder Woman is a safe bet to be really good.
Yeah.
But the Snyder Cut and the Batman are very much up in the air.
Yeah, and it's like Wonder Woman was already announced. Like, we knew about it. The movie was supposed to be out by now. So, like, these are like cool new announcements, right? So I think that's what it is. It's like just the excitement for something different.
Yeah.
I think the same for me. I think I will slap on, like, I want art, and I'm always hesitant, but I want Gotham Knights to be good. I think that's what it is, because I love the Court of Owls. So I'm also excited for that. So big 3 for me are those. But what do you know, Batman? You know? Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot, boys.
Yeah. It was a 2-day thing.
And they're having a second one in September.
They're having another part. Oh, man. Let's go. Give me more stuff. But other than that, yeah, I guess thanks for listening. For us, like, essentially just fucking gushing about everything, but and all of us just like hyping up. Gosh. But yeah, you could just tweet us any topic suggestions or questions at SuperBossPod. That's our tweet at that, or even email us at superbossfeedback@gmail.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, just all our socials. But yeah, please let us know how we're doing, and thanks again for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys sticking around.
We'll see you guys next time.